Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Commissioner Mueller, in your testimony, you explained that you remain concerned the EPA has, quote, greatly underestimated the amount of power production that would be retired due to its rules. And since August of 2011, you have been calling for a formal analysis of the cumulative impact of EPA's regulations on the reliability of the electric grid. You have proposed that FERC, EPA, Department of Energy, others participate in this analysis. You also explained that, as far as you know, this formal analysis has never commenced. Can you shed a little light onto why you think the analysis hasn't taken place?
Thank you, Senator. I've wondered that many times myself, because I think, what's the downside? They are not our rules that are driving this. Again, they are EPA rules. So we've been in a little bit of an awkward situation. There are informal communications that have gone on. I know that EPA calls the RTOs, or the RTOs call EPA every month if they have something to talk about. But I think we just need a little more transparency and accountability in this, because as you mentioned, it's not just the rule that's coming into effect in April of 2015, but it's a accumulation of the rules, and the reliability consequences have to be talked about. People have disagreements on this.
I mean, that's my question. Is the administration, do they have a head in the sand, or are they just actively opposed to conducting the analysis because they don't want to see, they're intentionally wanting to not see what the results are?
I don't know their motivation.
Mr. Hunter, in 2011, your union, several other unions testified before EPA about the cumulative impact of the agency's then proposed regulations. I understand the unions predicted that the EPA's regulations would result in the retirement, I think you said, of 56 gigawatts of electric generation. You said that the 56 gigawatts of closing represents over 50,000 direct jobs in the next couple of years. The job losses come from mine workers, rail workers, power plants. Finally, he stated that these job losses will fall heavily on rural communities where most of the plants are located. Why do you think the EPA has ignored the concerns of your union and several other unions when issuing the new regulations?
Senator, we have asked that question numerous times. We met with the EPA director. We met with staff. Originally, they sat with their 4.7 number and said that, we were going to be fine. It's not that big of a deal. Now it's come true that it is a big deal, and they're still furthering more regulations. The CO2 regulation, the coal ash rule, I mean, there's just multiple, and every one of those have a cost to it. And every time there's more cost, we see more plants closing.
So do you think the EPA takes this issue that we are very concerned about of job loss, do you think they take it seriously when they issue regulations?
I don't think they've taken into consideration the cost of their rules, no.
In your testimony, you explained that the steps can be taken to ensure reliability of the electric grid. You explained the power plants may be directed to operate under what's known as the must-run orders to ensure our electric grid meets electric demand. But you also note that a must-run order doesn't exempt the power plant from civil lawsuits or federal penalties under the Clean Air Act. For that reason, you stated that Congress must address the double jeopardy issue between a must-run order and the fact that the plant owners can be sued under the Clean Air Act. So it's double jeopardy. So generally speaking, would your union support legislation exempting power plants subject to the must-run order from lawsuits and penalties under the Clean Air Act?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman.